This, guys, you maybe hear that drone in the background, but this is one of my favorite places to camp. Pike National Forest here in Colorado. This is my first hot tent setup for the year, first winter camp, and it's actually morning. I'm doing this video in reverse, so I got in so late last night, I just barely set up before dark. So my first videos are going to be from in the tent, but I just wanted to show the setting, and I'll go get a little glimpse of camp too before we jump in. And also, guys, in this video I'm going to be messing around with this little mini spotlight. This company Gear Light sent me a few of these for free to test and review. They're not paying me, there's no affiliation, but I'm going to give one of these away to you guys for free in this video. So if you want one of these shipped to you for free, like the video, make a comment, and then I'll pick a random winner here in 2 days. Well, guys, here is camp. Nice little setup, served me well last night. You can see there's just tons of snow around. It's a pretty wintry environment, but inside was nice last night. So guys, I'm gonna take you into the tent. Really appreciate you watching the video. First time using the hot tent setup. So excited to get the stove burned in. I have not lit it yet this year. Well, that's not true. I did it after the new year, but I should say this season I have not used that wood stove yet. So I'm very excited. It's about 6 o'clock right now, and I got out here so late, guys. I hiked in. It was way snowier than I was expecting, and hiked in so late that I just had to get everything set. I had to gather firewood. Now it's getting cold. I'm starting to see my breath in the tent, so I think it's time to fire this stove up. Let me grab the camera. I'll show you kind of how I've got it set, and we'll light this thing up and get going, man. I'm excited. So from my point of view in here, I've got a little tarp over there to hold my gear on. Man, I can see the condensation in my breath. I'm gonna have to get this stove going. I got the stove, got a little beer going with me, brought 2 beers for the trip, and a pile of wood from small to big. All right, let's get this thing going. First off, cheers to the winter camping season. Super excited to get this stove going. As you can see, it's snowy as hell. I was not expecting this much. I thought there would be a little dry spot to set up on, but no big deal. It's what the tent is for. I also brought 2 whiskeys with me, guys. So 2 whiskeys and 2 beers. A little bit more than I normally would have, but it's winter, right? We've got like 14 hours of dark, almost, maybe 13 hours. So I'm going to be spending a lot of time in here with the fire going and hanging out. And I thought a little whiskey would help. All right, let's do this. So I brought some fire starters. I've got a little S-bit and just some of these little fire starter sticks. These are cheap little sticks from the store. I'm sure you guys have seen them. And a lot of times I'll do the Vaseline cotton balls. I'll rip cotton balls up, stuff them in an old little jerky chew tin with a lot of Vaseline. That works great as well. Couldn't find it. I'm gonna have to remake one of those. So let's get this thing going. It can be, when you first light this stove up, it can get pretty smoky. So I may have to open the door a little bit and let air in. Once it starts drawing and it starts pulling that smoke up though, we're gonna be good to go. So let's see. Let's see here. Let's put this stuff. Got some of this pine straw for all right. Let me take this thing lit. Where's that little stuff? Where's the little stuff? See, that's what I'm talking about. It'll get smoky for a minute till that pipe heats up. There it goes, starting to draw. That was actually pretty easy. Boy, that's a lot of smoke. Let's get that thing going. All right. So, all right, so it's starting to draw. I'm gonna open this up, get that smoke out. All right, so here we go. It's warm. It feels good in here. And the controls on this, you can see it's starting to suck air. So watch this. If I open this all the way, it's gonna start chugging. And if you let it keep going, it'll start shaking. Because it's pulling too much oxygen. That sounds weird. It's pulling too much oxygen through the stove here. So really, you just need a tiny bit of air coming through. And then once that stuff really gets going well, you can kind of close the damper a little bit and keep some of the heat in. I got a thermometer outside. Let me grab that and just get an idea. It's probably in the 30s. It's not that cold yet. Tonight's probably going to get in the low 20s, high teens. So not super cold. But in here, it's going to be awesome. Let me get that thermometer. Oh, and this one is hard to read. It's below 30. So it's already in the high 20s. What I'm gonna do here is set this right here for a minute. We'll check that. We'll check that here in a few minutes. We'll let it go like 5 or 10 and see what that temp is. One thing, as that stove warms up, I did not cook yet. I didn't have time. I hiked out all the way here and I set up and I was picking up firewood as the sun went down. So I just barely got set up. I've got 2 little single serving meals over there, a beef stew and a, what is it, like a chicken bowl, fajita bowl, something like that. So I'm gonna do what you're not supposed to do. I'm gonna eat in my tent tonight. Here in a little bit, I'll cook dinner in about an hour or so, and then I will carefully eat, not get anything anywhere, and then go hang my bear bag in the dark after I'm done eating. You know, one other thing I should have mentioned is I've got this piece of gear. This is a spotlight, a mini spotlight from Gearlight. And they sent me a few of these. Now, this is probably bigger than what I would normally take backpacking, but I'm not car camping right now, so I wanted to test it out in wilderness, go check it out in the dark. We'll see here in a little bit. And they sent me some extras to give away to you. So I'm gonna be giving one of these away later in the video. Make sure to check it out if you would like your chance. I don't know how many lumens this is though, so I brought a 200 lumen lamp and we can go outside and test these together to try to see how bright it is. Waterproof, it floats, you can put it in canoes, it's kind of cool. All right, that stove's been running now for about 20 minutes. If you look here at the thermometer, it's right at 70 degrees in the tent. So it's 20s outside, but 70 in here. Nice. nice bed of coals in there. It's crazy how fast you go through this wood when you're using a little stove like this. I had a big old stack and I'm going through it, but I think I have enough for the night. The other thing you got to be careful is when you're stoking this and putting wood in, you got to watch out for the spark arrestor. There is a little spark arrestor that sits at the bottom of that pipe. It's a little mesh wire thing. Even in a stage 1 fire ban, you're able to use this. In fact, we're in a stage 1 fire ban right now, but because it's fully enclosed, what they call a shepherd stove, you're able to use it out here. That spark arrestor, though, when you're loading it with wood, you can knock it real easy and it'll just fall right in, and then you gotta let the stove go out, dump the ash, put it back in. It's just a pain in the middle of the night. So just stoke this thing up with a bunch of new wood right on those coals. You can see it lit right up. As soon as you shut this door, it just sucks that air through and into the pipe and lights the wood right up. I've got damper full open, and I've got this thing almost, I'll go ahead and wide open it. I've seen people online say that they can't boil water with a Liteoutdoors stove, or that when they're using one of these titanium stoves, they have a hard time cooking. So it's a little tricky, but I'll show you what you got to do. So first of all, I got new wood in there, and I've got my 1 3/4 cups water here. Once this really gets going, I will shut this damper a little, and you can hear all that airflow stopped, and all of a sudden it just traps the heat here. If I turn the light out, this thing will glow red, and you can even see it, and then it'll slowly go down after this. But that's kind of the secret I found, is you got to get it blazing hot, turn it back up. Do you hear how much control there is over that? Listen. That's almost fully closed. So if I was going to sleep, I've got some big pieces of wood over here that before we go to bed we'll throw in. And the idea there is you put some big pieces in, you shut this damper, slows the airflow, and it really slows the burn time. Not as hot, but it'll burn for a few hours, 2 to 3. Let's get it going. Let's cook this water. And I said 1 serving. This is a 2 serving, which is awesome. Beef stew, Mountain House Adventure Meal. That's about boiling. All right, we're gonna blaze this water up. All right. See how that looks? Turn that light off for a little bit. All right. Maybe you can see how red hot that stove's getting. I'm not sure if it's picking it up. Turn this light back on. just so incredibly quiet out here. There's a dog barking in the distance. I heard an owl earlier. But man, everything's covered in snow. It's December. Oh, I have a thermometer back outside. Let's go see what that thing, let's see what it says. Use the light. Oh, crap. It's about 24 degrees. 24 degrees. Put it back in here and see how this does. Well, I did what I said not to. I knocked the spark arrestor down into the stove. So I pulled it out. It's right here. That is what goes up under there to keep all the sparks from leaving the stove and causing a fire. So I'm not comfortable running without it. I let the fire go out. It's cooling right now. And then I was about to pull everything down so I can go outside and dump ash, but look at this. Let me see if I can get it. I'm just looking at the moon right through the stove jack there. How cool is that? So it's about 9 o'clock at night. I'm gonna, once this cools off just a little bit more, I'm gonna open the tin up, go outside, dump all the ash, put the spark arrestor back in the stove, put it back together. But while I'm out there, I'll hang my Bear bag, and that gives us a chance to mess around with that gear light flashlight. This jacket may be done, y'all. I've had this Swiss Tech, turn this off. I've had this Swiss Tech coat, very inexpensive, for 3 seasons. All the holes I have, I tape up. But man, I may have screwed it this time. We'll see. Well, now that I've got that stove fixed, thank God, I'm gonna play around with the gear light spotlight. This is that mini spotlight, and I've never used it before, so I'm gonna see what it looks like out here. I'll turn the big light out. I've got a 200 lumen Ozark Trail flashlight. This doesn't have a light rating on it, so I just wanted to compare and see how bright it actually is. But we'll go ahead and do that real quick and see what it looks like. All right, here's that gear light. All right. That's high beam, low beam, SOS. I'm not going to do that up here. All right, so here's high. And I can see, I mean, I don't know if it's, I mean, this thing's like a damn, yeah. It's a spotlight. All right. Now, let me compare it to a 200 lumen. So this is 200 lumens right here. Not, I mean, it's still strong, but not near like the other one. And this 200 lumen flashlight doesn't have near the stuff this other one does. All right, let me try the other lamp again here. Oh yeah, way brighter. All right, that thing works good. It's pretty bright. It works pretty good. I'm gonna get this gear inside. I'm gonna go hang my food in the bear bag, and I'm gonna get this stove lit back up, man. It's getting cold again. Got the fire stoked pretty good. I'm about to lay down, go to sleep, I think. I've got 2 big pieces that I'll eventually throw in right before I crash. But other than that, it stayed real nice in here, almost 75 degrees. And outside's in the low 20s right now. So, super cool camping. But I am exhausted. I need to crash. This thing I've been playing with more. It does have an SOS mode. Here, let's see. I kind of like the SOS modes. I know a lot of people trash the, kind of talk trash on them. But to me, if you hurt yourself and you're out in the middle of nowhere and you just wanted to place that directly up or towards somebody, at nighttime, it'd be very visible. I mean, that thing's bright as hell. The other cool thing is this handle. I've just been using it like this. And then it's my light. So kind of adjustable, fun to play around with. Anyway, I'm going to crash out, guys, turn the light out, and go to sleep. See you in the morning. Bye. That's the reverse exit. It's a little windy. I may still try to get the drone out, we'll see. But nice in the tent. It got down to 14 degrees last night, guys. It was super cold. And that sleep system is only good if that tent's running. I woke up in the middle of the night after about 3 hours. Cold, I had to restart the stove. Super fun, hot tent camping, guys. Really appreciate you watching. See you soon, bye. I'm just stuck here in a dream. Long, long, long. I'm just stuck here in a dream.